Welcome to the Seer Show. Join us as we dive into the dynamic world of health, wellness, mindset, and fitness with the unparalleled guidance of lifelong knowledge seekers, Sifu Raphael and Nicky Gangemi. Sifu and Nicky will unlock groundbreaking insights with extraordinary guests from around the globe. You'll get the latest holistic approaches to well-being with a sharp focus on the powerful connection between mind, body, and soul. Get ready to take the leap. It's time to embrace a brighter and healthier future with us at the Seer Show.
Happy Wednesday, Nikki. How are you?
Happy Wednesday, Sifu. I'm excellent. And how are you this morning?
I'm going to say I'm excellent. Actually, I'm exceptional and getting better every day.
There we go.
I do like the word excellent, though.
I do too. I just love the way it sounds and feels.
Because excellent, if you take out that length, right, you excel.
Oh yeah, I haven't thought of it that way. Now I love it even more. Look at that.
See, look at that. I'm super excited. We have a phenomenal powerhouse joining us today. And I'm a little bit overwhelmed because when I say Nikki, I'm going to get two powerhouse women. So let's go for it and bring her on. Nicky Cuesta, welcome to the Seer Show. And how are you doing this morning?
Hello, Sifu and Nicky. So happy to be here. And I am well. Thank you so much. I'm excited.
Yes.
For the conversation.
Absolutely. When we think about business mindset, it's two different words, but they mesh really, really, really well, don't they?
Mm-hmm.
I'd love to hear from, I'm going to have to say Nikki. And then that way, one of you is going to take it.
Let's go with Nicky C.
There you go. Talk to us about business mindset, Nicky C. Nicky Cuesta.
Yeah, so business mindset. I'm sorry.
For some reason, this happens a lot in StreamYard. We are in the backstage and everything is perfect. Everything's working. We go live and people's streams start to kind of slow down. It's very odd. We're gonna have, this is a call out to StreamYard. Stop it. It doesn't happen on Zoom. It doesn't happen on Zoom. So come on, StreamYard. Wake up, kids. Right. Nicky Cuesta, you're on.
I think there's a
business mindset. Wow. Yeah, and it says stay in studio until your recording is uploaded. So I think there was a recording error. I don't know if you see that on your ends.
Maybe you have a recording happening on your end. Do you have another program running that could be possible? No. Okay.
Everything's closed. Everything's closed. But yes, let's talk about business mindset. It's all about really when you are looking to just build something and start a business. There's all types of thoughts and questions you have to ask yourself, and what mindset do you want to be in to be able to deliver what you say you want to deliver. So it takes a lot of um, time to really be with yourself. And what does that look like? What are your core values? What are the things um, that you want your business to reflect? So I always say, when are you going to give yourself permission to succeed? Right? That's one of the business mindsets, right? Leadership. That how are you going to be a leader? How do you want people to see you, and all those things? And it makes a difference when you really tap into what business mindset is, and having your core value and being able to not just articulate it, but show it in action, in what you do and what you deliver. So a lot of people kind of go into a consumer mode, right? As a business owner, we think as a consumer all the time when we're first starting off. So we don't have the business mindset. We haven't learned like what are the ins and outs of business. So it's just things like that really help you build a sense of how do you want your business to look.
I love that. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm going to go to Nikki G now.
Nikki G. Well, I want to first comment on what you said, Nikki, about the permission to succeed. That's huge. Giving yourself the permission to succeed. And then I would add to that something I'm realizing recently is allowing yourself to succeed, like allowing yourself to have that success, allowing yourself to feel good, allowing it to be easy, and being in that receiving mode is something that is important too. Mm-hmm.
Agreed. I got to say, what you brought up, it was probably, I had to take notes. So, core values of business. And some people don't even think that way. A lot of people start their own business, if you will, because they're looking for the cash. Show me the money. And then they get in it. Meanwhile, they didn't set up their core values. They didn't set up their leadership style, or don't even know their leadership style. And also, they don't really understand the actionable steps that they have to take, like you mentioned, Nicky Cuesta. And I'm going to use your last name to tell people something. Cuesta, if you understand what that means cost. So if you don't understand the cost of doing business, you will fail in business. That's why I love your last name, Cuesta, because it costs something, right? And if you're not willing to pay the price to learn, to take the time to understand your core values, to understand that SOPs are part of your core values. If you have a restaurant and your bathrooms are dirty, does that matter? It will if I'm going to visit it, because I ain't going back. Right? So one of the things that I do is when I go to a bathroom, and if the bathroom's dirty, it tells me a whole lot. A whole lot. Mm-hmm. I had a client of mine tell me that his daughter, when she goes to the bathroom in my facility, one of my facilities, and I was a little bit grossed out by what he said, but not in the way most people would think of it. He said, my daughter mentions your bathrooms in high regard. I go, what do you mean? He goes, she said that she can actually eat off the floor in the bathroom. And I'm like, well, that's gross, but yeah, don't do that. He goes, it's so clean at any given time. And so for me, that was like, thank you. I appreciate that because that's the value I have. That's some of my core values. I have a 10,000 square foot facility and everybody walks in, they're like, oh my God, this place is so clean. Can you imagine how hard it is to keep a place that big clean?
Yeah.
But it's worth it because those are the core values we work on. So cleanliness is part of my core values when it comes to presenting. And I think that core values is huge. So thank you for bringing that up, Nicky Cuesta.
Yeah. When you were saying cleanliness is the value, the word in my mind was, I thought you were going to say impeccable,
There you go.
that you value being impeccable. And then that's why your facility looks the way it does, and you could eat off the floor. Don't do that, though.
It's very interesting because during COVID, we were all told to shut down. When we were able to reopen, because I am one of my places is a facility where people have to come in. They were sending inspectors out to inspect the locations to make sure it was good enough to open. And when the guy came in, he already said, "Oh, you're probably going to fail." Just walking in the door, I said, "Why?" He goes, because I have a martial arts and fitness facility. He said, most of these places fail. I said, okay. I said, why don't we not say that and find out what the results are first? And then you could tell me if I failed or pass. Okay. So then he comes in, he takes his tester and all these different things, and he's swabbing things, and he's looking at it. He's like, so I'm thinking, okay, did I fail? Did I fail? And then he goes, you're running this place like an operating. He goes, even the bathroom, he goes, in my bathrooms, this is as surgical as a room that they can do brain surgery in. I said, okay. And then he goes, this is where everybody fails. So he went between the mats, where the mats are that we do throwing and stuff, and he took a swab and he went in between and the whole deal. He goes, this is where everybody fails. And he looked at it and he put it in his little computer thing and he pulled out the swab and he goes, okay, so you can have surgery here too. And I said, so what does that tell you? He says, whatever you're doing, keep doing it. Your place is super clean. This is the first place that I'm actually passing. I've inspected, I think it was 300 and something places. I was the first one to pass.
Wow.
Inspection. So if my core values weren't there, even during the time where people needed it most to feel secure, then yeah. So core values, people, they matter.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. What are some of the core values you have, Nicky, in your business?
Yeah, one of the core values is obviously integrity, right? Showing up, consistency. The biggest thing is really, we're about problem solving. So there's no complaining, right? Taking accountability for things that we say that we're going to do. So a lot of the core values is just, it's really, again, understanding that when you have a leadership mindset and you build something, you want to build that legacy. You want to leave it where it can be passed on to generations and generations. And that's, the core value for that is really, how do we show up? One of our core values for our team when we're doing our community or events and things like that is really to bring that integrity that we say we're going to do what we're going to do. We've been able to do it for 3 years since officially launching today. 3 years ago, our BALM Global official business launch, as well as our Empower to Inspire. And I know that you guys know that we are in the middle of a 50-state world tour, so that we can get this message about the dream it, build it, elevate it, and our core values of, you know, what it is to start a business and be in this world of entrepreneurship. So it's been a journey, right? And life lessons along the way to actually get our core values intact.
That's exciting. 50-state world tour. How many states do you have left to go?
We have 48 because we just kicked it off last year. We are looking for speakers right now, and there's another piece to the puzzle that's about to come out. I can't share it, but September 20th is going to be a big day for BALM Global, and what we're adding to this tour that's going to change the face of it. And I'm so excited. It's something that's part of who I am, something I didn't know that I can actually drop it right into what we have been building. And it's really the culture when we're talking about live events and how we're going to bring them to every single state. So I'm excited.
It's
that is exciting.
exciting. Yeah. Yeah. And I heard something that you said, Nicky.
Very
3
different.
words. Yeah. You said it's who I am. And when I think of business mindset, I think that identity is so important, because it's not something that many people, I could speak for myself and people who I know who didn't start out as an entrepreneur. Maybe they came from corporate first and then became a business owner, and they don't have that identity of I am a business owner. And that really has impacted their results in a negative way. So part of the business mindset, and I want Sifu to share his story that he started talking about when we first hopped on before we went live, because it really speaks to this. It's donning that identity of being a business owner. And that's really, I think, the entry point to success.
Yeah. Yeah, thank you for
Absolutely.
bringing that up again. And I asked you ladies for if you thought it would be a good idea for me to share with you and the audience. Obviously, I did share it with you, but I want to share it with the audience as well. So I have been an entrepreneur for just a little over 31 years, where I left corporate, and before I left corporate, I was already running my own business, right? And then I went into part-time corporate. So I was still working for somebody. I was still helping them build their empire. And then when I said, you know what? You're on your own. You keep building your empire. It's time to build mine. And I fully went all the way in. So it's been 1995 is when I fully left corporate and decided to go on my own. So some of you are probably were just born then. And so I've been doing it for a minute. So one of the things that I've always realized is going into opening up my own corporate location, if you will, because I run my business as a corporation because I am a C corporation, right? I'm not just a business owner. I have a corporation. When I did that, I also went through what a lot of people, even nowadays in business, who are getting into business, do not do. And it's called a business plan. What? I know I said, I'll say it again, a business plan. So you have to know what you're going to do. So that's the actionable steps that we have to take. So when I did all these things, I knew exactly what kind of events I was going to be running, birthday parties, this, that, the other, how I was going to run SOPs. Everything was laid out in my business plan. And when I went to get my location, I was renting from someone who at the time owned the New York Mets. They owned the New York Mets, and they owned the facility that I was going to be renting from them. And they said, You have a business plan? And when I took out this big book and I go, here you go. And they're like, oh my gosh, we didn't expect it. We just asked for it. So I had it ready for them, right? So one of the things that I understood all along is mind your business. And so I teach that to everyone who's in my listening ear, right? Anyone who I'm going to impact. And it starts at 3.5 years old. You're thinking, what does a 3.5-year-old need to know about business? Everything. Everything. Because the first thing I say to them is to engage them as I tell them to mind their business. And the reason I say mind your business is because I'm teaching them something and they're over there going, what's he doing? What's she doing? I'm like, nope, mind your business. Because when you worry about everybody else's business, you're not going to worry about your own. So when I say to them, mind your business, they don't get it. But I say to them, what color belt are you? Because we go through a belt system. And then they'll tell me the color of their belt. And I said, that's your business. So you have to mind your business. Whatever belt you are, that's what you worry about. Don't worry about the other belts because they're not yours. You have to earn them. Like in business, we have to earn the right for certain things. So early on, I'm teaching them to mind their business. And every so often, I remind them. I'm like, what's your business? I said, is your business looking at their business or is it your business? I said, what's the best business? Huh. And then I say to them, you're the president. I'm the president? I said, yeah, you're the president of your business. I said, you're also an officer. I'm an officer? Yes. You're the chief operating officer. Yeah, that's COO. Wait a minute. And you're also the CEO. What's a CEO? So I'm already teaching them at that young age about the responsibilities that we need to know as business owners. So whether you're starting in business or you've already been in business and you're wondering why your business is not growing, it's because you're not minding your business. So mind your business.
Mind your business. It's a whole new take on that phrase. I love it.
That's it. And with that, I'll have some coffee.
Yes, it's so powerful. Yes, that is so powerful, people. When you said that earlier, and I know Nikki has said it, it's that comparison game, right? But just know that you are facing you every day, right? It's that me versus me, that you versus you concept when you're thinking about mindset and really saying, hey, what am I doing, right? Not what am I doing that someone else is doing. No, what am I going to do? Because you have the vision of your business. And I love this about what we have been able to share, that once I get an idea, I just go for it. I'm like, okay, God, this is a download. This is happening. I've already implanted that business mindset that this is supposed to fit in. Obviously, I'm discerning about who I let into that idea, who's going to be a part of it, and just make sure that it follows my mission. It follows our impact and it aligns exactly with our core values and all the things. So when you are in this entrepreneurial space, it's so quick. You can quickly get intimidated, which that's not what these communities are for. You can easily say, oh, well, they're doing something better. I need to change me. I think I heard a podcast yesterday about a shift, about someone having to shift themselves. We actually had it on Online Business Mindset Mania, which our Radiance event that we had on Saturday. And someone had indicated just that, like, don't edit yourself. You shouldn't have to edit yourself for anyone else, right? When you're building a business, you build it how you want it to look like. You're unique, you're different. You can have some original stuff. I promise you that We're probably not the first ones that thought of these ideas, and we're not going to be the last ones. But if we splash who we are in that, that is more than enough to have a unique business that speaks to you, right? No one could do mindful matters like Nikki. No one can do what seafood does, right? Uh, there are other entrepreneurs that are doing it, but they have their own spin. And when you take out that comparison mindset and you just do and support, you're going to get exactly what you're looking for tenfold as long as you stay consistent with that and just believe in what you're bringing to the forefront.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. Um, I like what you said, shift yourself, but I want to make sure everybody listens carefully. It's SHIFT. You have to leave in the F. Because you know what happens when you take out the F? You're going to have to get a lot of toilet paper. And I know during COVID, there was a scarcity of it. But why was there scarcity of it? Because we were not minding our business.
Going back to that, yes. Yeah.
I love what we're talking about because it is a mindset, right? And I love what you talked about, that Nikki Ganjemi is the only one that can do the mindset matters business. There may be other people who want to copy her. And if anybody does copy you, Nikki, just realize it's a compliment.
Oh yes, one of the best.
Because they want to be just like you, but you're unique. There's only one of you. And
even the criticisms are compliments, right? If somebody is criticizing you, you have their attention. Right.
In the old days, it was the old adage of any attention is good attention, but not always, right? Negative attention is not good attention. Right. If you're going to criticize me because I'm making you think, that's good. If you're going to criticize me because I messed up and you're calling me out on it, that's also good. That means you're giving me a chance to fix what I messed up on.
Right.
But if I fix it and you keep harping on it, then that's bad. So I'm okay to fix my mistakes, but don't harp on them.
Right. Yeah, there's a difference.
Yeah.
So what would you say, Nikki, I'm curious, in regards to business mindset? We talked about giving yourself permission to succeed, having a leadership style, a business plan, actionable steps. What would you say to the listeners, just maybe the top three types of mindset required to have a successful business?
Good question.
We're a little bit delayed, I think.
That's why we're quiet, giving her time to.
I'm sorry, I didn't catch that last question.
That's okay. I said, what would you say are the three top success mindsets that would help somebody to have a successful business? What three ways of thinking, maybe?
Yes, so the first one. Yeah, the first thing is to speak life into your world. I mean, it's so simple. We talk about affirmations all the time. I really think that they're underrated. I think that we need to add more good and positivity. And we see it all the time. It's out there. So that would be the first one, is fill your business mindset with business mindset on things that you want to build and grow and create. The second thing is to have a conversation with that inner critic in your head, because she's going to come, or he, and he's going to try to talk you out of things that you are building. Because when dreamers think bigger than what we have been known to be not possible, right? And then you go right? If you have that dialogue with I call her "Hey girl," or the inner hater, right? Saying, "Hey," having that conversation and really letting them know that they don't have place here, and it's going to happen because we create about 30 million different dialogues in our head when we're trying to put something out, whether it's a course, an event, a high ticket, anything, right? We're always saying, we're always thinking about what other people are thinking about. So the second thing was just to have that open dialogue very frequently with that inner critic, and just be aware that, okay, there's risks in building the business, and not everybody is going to see the vision. And that's okay, because the people that are supposed to will, as long as you stay consistent. So the third one is just do it. Just do it. I am all about getting it done. There's problems out there that you have the answers for to solving, that you can transform someone's life, that you can monetize your gift and ideas. When you go into that mindset, that what you're creating is good, it's in love, and it's in and that the sky is, it's really limitless on what you can bring to this world, people that you serve, is again just getting it done. If you know how, if you have the tools, because you've already went to school, you got your certifications, you got your degrees, you went through the life experiences that give you all the tools to help someone else, why are you holding it back? There's no need to hold it back. And if you don't know how to use them, get connected with a coach, a mentor, someone that can guide you, that's already doing it. It is okay to ask for help. So those are my three things. Just speak life into yourself. Be able to tame that inner critic, and just get it done, because you know what, the success and the results, you're gonna thank yourself later for sure.
I love that. Thank you for sharing. Yeah, well said. And that second one, talking to that inner critic frequently, or at least being aware of what it's saying, and then reframing and moving your attention, so needed on a daily basis.
It sure is. It sure is. Let me share a quick video with you, ladies. Take a look.
You followed the rules, tried the restrictions, counted the carbs, the steps, and the failures. You're not lazy. You're exhausted from doing it all without real change. What if the problem isn't you, but the plan? Sifu's Mind Body Method is a 90-day transformation built on 7 unshakable pillars: mindset, movement, nutrition, hydration, fasting, journaling, and faith. This isn't another shortcut. It's your structure, your strength, your reset. You don't need harder, you need better. Ready to begin? Start today.
Just today. Don't start tomorrow. Just kidding.
We always have that opportunity to reset ourselves, right? We don't even have to wait till tomorrow to reset. You could reset in the next minute. It's always available.
And that's how you come across, Nikki, letting people understand that the mind is such a beautiful tool. It's a machine. We can update it. We don't need to wait for the next version in 3 months. Well, Apple comes out with a new phone, every year? In October, August, one of those. Mm-hmm. And everybody's like, oh, I got to watch what's coming out next. You don't have to wait. You can get the download today.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I just wanted to add on that. I have a framework that I've used before that we're, us as individuals, we're like a computer. And I love that you said machine, because it actually triggered something I spoke about on Reboot, right? We're like a computer. Whenever we're feeling like it's overwhelming, it's just too much, we can control alt delete just like we can do to our computers and reset it and check what's starting up, check what's taking up space, right? Your CPUs, your percentages. Why is this lagging, right? So you can do that for yourself as well. So control alt delete. Whenever you feel like you're in that moment of, okay, it's just becoming too much, sometimes you just have to surrender those thoughts. You have to surrender the emotions. You have to surrender because one, you can easily throw in the towel, and we never want you to do that. There's no point of throwing in the towel on your gifts, your talents, and your impact. So do a control alt delete every so often and journal, figure out what are the things that are stopping me from moving forward, that are getting me to procrastinate, to lag, or to compare, or to all the things that is not letting you move forward. So I wanted to share that on that reset thought.
Yeah, control alt delete. I love it.
We should do that. When?
Are you asking?
As soon as you feel it. As soon as you
Right there.
Yeah.
If not now, when?
Yeah.
That's the question.
Yeah, that's the best. That's something that I started to do because as someone who has always been very cerebral, living up here in my head, disconnected from the neck down, I started dropping down into my body and paying attention to how I feel. And anytime I'm feeling any kind of resistance, negative, frustrated, whatever it is, that's a signal. Oh, control alt delete. Something needs to be reset. Maybe it's my focus. Where is my attention? And leaning into it, taking some breaths. We all have the ability to take a breath in and exhale. And the breath, is a reset in and of itself.
It's very interesting you talked about the breath. Do you know how many people have to teach how to breathe again?
Mm-hmm.
Meanwhile, babies do the best breathing. Babies. Meanwhile, guess what? They get older. They get stressed. Anxiety sets in. All these different things. They're being told no left and right. All of a sudden, they forget how to breathe. But babies, they breathe right. So I want us all to be babies again and breathe. Breathe.
Yeah.
And one of the things that one of you said, I'm going to say Nicky said, how's that? Because then I'm going to be right either way.
And you're right either way.
You talked about not only culture, but you also talked about consistency. You talked about identity. All of these different things are going to give you the best possible business. And even if somebody's listening to this and they work for someone else, I learned this very, very early on. When I worked for these high-level people, I used to work with the president of the company or the vice president of the company, all these different things. And I always thought, oh, wow, I want to be the president. I want to be the vice president. Now I want to get up the ladder. And as I climbed up the ladder, somebody said to me, why are you waiting to get promoted? Why don't you promote yourself? How can I promote myself? I like to start believing it. You start promoting yourself because when you're home, you are the president. You make the decision. You're the CEO. You make the decision. Do I want to live in a clean house? Do I want to wash the dishes? Do I have somebody else help me? Do I do chores? Do I do the things that would make this place run like a business? Do I conduct my life like a business? And when you can start to conduct your life like a business, then it makes a lot of sense because when you wake up in the morning, you have SOPs. Well, maybe you don't call them that. Brushing your teeth, that's an SOP, right? Showering, please do it often, but that's an SOP too. So run your life like it's a business because guess what you have to, I'm going to say it again, you have to mind your business.
Yeah. What I love about what you just shared, Sifu, is that it presupposes that you are already doing it. You already have the business. You already have the SOPs
Can you
in
guys
place.
hear
Oh, now we can.
me?
Sorry. Go ahead. Did I interrupt you?
No, I'm sorry. It was just I couldn't hear anything that Sifu said. I'm sorry.
You know, his
You're going to have
volume
to watch
was
the
a little
replay.
low. Yeah, that's why you saw me kind of leaning in. The volume was a little bit low.
I apologize.
That's okay. That's okay. What I captured, though, again, it was that mind your business. And what I was saying is that I love how what you shared, it presupposes the business mindset is already there. The foundation is already there. You know, we already have, you've mentioned we get up, we do have SOPs, we brush our teeth, we shower, we make breakfast. We are already doing those standard operating procedures on a daily basis. So run your life like it's a business and mind your business installs that identity so that we can lead from that. And that really sets us up for success.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It has become quite interesting how Nicky Cuesta there's a lag when we're communicating, right? But in reality, when she does speak, there's no lag. No lag because her message is so clear, so beautiful. And I just got to give you kudos big time because for somebody to take their business on the road, I'm now seeing you as a rock star, just so you know. I'm going to carry this pencil when I see you in next week. You can sign something for me, right? Because I want to get your celebrity signature. This is a quiet reflection time.
I am so sorry. I'm so sorry. I just sent Nikki a video of just what I was seeing on my end. But I heard like bits and pieces. Um, I heard something about a signature. And I'm really, really sorry. But I just sent Nikki a video.
Yeah, I got
This
it.
has been like, just talking about business mindset is my love language. Is something that was planted on my heart in 2020, the year I left corporate. I know, Sifu, you were talking about what are you waiting for when you were climbing up the corporate ladder. I was getting bits and pieces of that. And that was my story. That was my story, being in corporate for 14 years and just doing everything and anything overtime, 80 hour, a week. Just pouring in all of my time and love, sweat, and tears. And I love what I did. But I'm like, if I'm doing this for someone else's business, why can't I do it for my own business? And that's when I started to say, hey, I'm gonna talk about this stuff. I want to see if there's other people out there And I built a YouTube channel called Building a Leadership Mindset. That's what it all started. And it sat there for 2 years because I went back to think about like, oh, who the heck is going to listen to me? Why am I going to, what can I do for them besides teach them what I've learned? And I've always said that I don't want to die with the skills that I was able to invest in, the time I was able to invest in it, the knowledge I was able to learn throughout my journey. Like I wanted to pay that forward. How was I going to do it? I didn't know, right? So I thought, okay, YouTube channel, sat for 2 years, limiting beliefs. And then I met someone who asked me what my story was, and they genuinely wanted to know, and gave me a path to say, hey, write about it, and figure it out along the way. And that's what I did. May of last year, May of 2022 was that life-changing moment when I entered into an event space that totally showed me that there's possibility in building a business, in your voice, that voice matters. And going on and doing all that 4 years later, here we are. And it has all been because of the mindset that I've been able to adopt in it along the way. And it's been a blessing to be able to do that. You can reach me and check out our story at balm-global.com. It's our new website. And I actually went through a reflection in the last couple of months, actually digging in all of our past videos, photos, and things like that. And Sifu and Nikki, I can't wait to see you guys next week. It's going to be history in the making, and I'm glad to be a part of it. And this is why we enter rooms, to be connected with individuals like yourselves, and that I can say we're family, we're doing life together, we can come and have great conversation and impact the world together. Why do it alone? So I will leave with that. I'm sorry I didn't get to hear the rest of it, but I do love you both from the bottom of my heart. And it's been amazing being here and having this conversation.
Yeah.
Thank you, Nikki.
Nicky Cuesta, I got to tell you, you're a powerhouse. Keep it up. Keep going. I can't wait to see you next week. And yes, I'm looking forward to getting your autograph again. So, and Nikki and Jimmy, you're going to be there too?
I don't know where I'm going to be. I'll definitely be there in spirit.
Oh, okay. There you go. I got you. Okay.
Where are you both going to be?
In Philadelphia.
Oh, in Philadelphia. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's going to be a lot of fun. But everybody, do us a favor. Share this episode with somebody who needed to understand what business could become or what it should be for you. How we take business to the next level. And we will have more of these conversations as we go. So thank you, Nikki and Nikki, for being here with me and blessing me this morning. Thank you, everybody. God bless you and have an incredible rest of the day.